X-Pac, 12360.
Hey man, that word, man, it's a very what word? Destructive.
Yes.
Let's just say that destructive word. For these days, for so many, because it's used as a term of endearment. Not just black people use it; every other race uses it. In schools, it's a word that just thrown around, and I say, I talk about young people all the time. Young people need to understand, that word first and foremost and how destructive it truly really is. But the thing is to hear it on the radio every day. It's not like something that, that's put in the closet or anything. People make money off of it. It's a word that's, that's being, money is being made off of it. So it's hard to, to judge or anything like that when people outside of one's race use it, but when I do hear it, just like with the Lonzo Ball situation, that young man, that's a college educated young man.
Yeah,
that's a young man that know right from wrong. That's a young man that's got eyes on him, and young people look up to him and want to be like him. So I don't, try to, put everyone in that position to try to be a role model or anything like that. But, you only live once, and the thing is too, he's a young kid. He's going to mature as he get older. I didn't think this way when I was, 18 years old, so it's hard for me to judge. When I hear that word, how to explain it.
The thing about it is I kind of made light of it on the show. Like I was, and what I meant was like it wasn't as big a deal coming out of his mouth as if it would have been a white guy on there and that shit dropped out of their mouth, on live TV.
And that's true. That is true. That is true. But I remember when I said it, and how I felt inside. I don't know if that young kid felt that same way, but I know how I felt because I knew I had young people looking up to me and wanted to be like me, and they feel like if Booker T said, it's okay to say.
I remember when that happened.
Then they got to go for a job interview. And they're talking to the the person that's giving them the interview, and they use that word, and then they don't get the job. So changing your levels. That's what I tell young people. You know how to change your levels because you never know who you're around and who you're talking to.
I remember when you did that, and immediately, like I see you turned right. Like I'd never seen a black guy blush like that before. Like you were embarrassed by that. I think. It seemed like.
Oh no, man! I literally, that was the worst day of my life.
Oh.
That was as far as the wrestling business goes.
Really?
That was the biggest mistake I ever could have made. That's the one mistake that I wish I could take back.
Wow.
I don't remember any other mistakes. Because like I said, I don't want my people to think that I think that way about myself.
Absolutely.
I don't talk like that around to my kids. My kids have never heard me say that word.
Yeah.
I don't talk up to my buddies like that. I don't know. But I'm from the neighborhood. I hear it on a daily basis. At that point in time, back then, it was a word that I used, probably on a regular basis. But no one had ever heard me say that in the locker room, around any of my peers. None of the white guys had ever heard me use that word.
Sure.
And because I say, if they hear me using that word, calling myself that, it should be all right for them to call me that as well, if I call myself that.
Hey, look, Mark Henry said that the black locker room is 50-50 on Hulkster right now. How are you on all that?
Hey, man, just like I just said about the word.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, when people say stuff, behind the closed doors, I'm sure you've said things behind closed doors.
Man, yes.
I'm sure everyone in that room. Has said stuff behind closed doors that they'll never say out in public. I put the onus on the person that was taping the conversation to first and foremost in that situation. Why is a person taping your conversation? They're obviously looking to get something out of it. So you got to look at it from that perspective as well. You don't know if someone was drinking or not. It's so many variables go into that one little episode right there, and I just don't think that and the wrestling business coincide with each other.
Gotcha. Well, that's the thing, man. Is I'm a white guy, and obviously I think everyone knows that.
Yeah, we figured it out.
So I like to defer to my black friends on this subject. You know what I mean? I think my opinion is just a little bit less valid than y'all's.
No, I mean it's a real issue, of course, but it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean it really should not be an issue.
Yeah.
As far as him being whether the black eye for people to hear him say that being a publicly traded company, of course. Do we got to shut this thing down? Reprimand him or do something, suspend him, do something about it. Of course, we do. But for someone, for him to be banned from professional wrestling for that one incident,
and just
come on,
just
come on.
To have to be wiped completely from history over, I
don't agree. That I don't agree
Yeah.
with. You know what I mean? It's just, and the reason I don't agree with that, Pac, is because if people still judge me from what I did 20 years ago,
Amen.
I would not be talking to you right now.
Amen, bro.
People still looked at me because of what I did and the mistake that I made. We wouldn't be talking. And I talk about that, having that broom and still cleaning up and sweeping it up. Yeah, I'm still cleaning it up and sweeping it up because I made a mistake. But should you ridicule me forevermore for a mistake a young kid made who had no direction in life? Come on. No, I don't think so. So my thing is this, man. I mean, let's put it past and let's move forward.